Right, welcome to Parental Guidance. This is the third attempt at recording this after many mistakes by myself, forgetting to turn on microphones and things like that. With me, I've got Ethan.
I'm a Lloyd.
No, I'm Lloyd.
And I'm Manny.
Oh, hi,
Stop
Manny.
confusing the situation. This episode's called Third Time's the Charm.
Yeah, definitely.
Three is the magic number.
Except for hopefully
Yeah.
when nothing else goes wrong in the
So how's
breaking
everyone's weeks been?
Good for the third time.
I haven't said anything, so maybe I'll try and start this one.
Yeah, go on.
And then I'll find out I'm not recording. I'm having a decent week. Had the interview last
nice.
Yeah, how did that go, man?
week. Had a video interview after that, and actually just met the CTO person earlier today. So it's all going well. They're going to send over contract and see if I'm happy with it, and if I am, then I may be handing in my notice for my current job.
Try and haggle.
I'm gonna try.
Big times.
I'm gonna try
Try
and
and
haggle.
haggle.
Yeah, I've already tried to haggle a little bit. We'll see what when it comes in. Have a little look at the I don't know if it's lack of benefits or we'll see whatever's coming in. And
Yeah, I was just saying, something I've always learned
see if I
is
can
Lack of
haggle something out.
always try
benefits.
and
What?
haggle. He's not going to necessarily have as many benefits in this new job as he's got currently.
Yeah, I
But
think
if the
the current
salary
job.
is good.
I think the current job. Well, we'll see. I think current job. I think it's got better pension stuff, but overall, I need like better stuff and more stuff now than looking at that in the future. I can work on that later.
All right. In the theme of relevance for the third time, make sure you get some decent parental leave as well, bro. See if you can get that too, because in the future you might want to have a kid. In the next
Yeah,
year or two, and
I'll read
it's
the
very
I'll
important.
read the contract and
Yeah.
stuff and make sure that's
A
all
certain
good, or at least hopefully not a company that's dodgy.
What I say,
Yeah,
a certain
Good
blonde
point.
friend of ours managed to get 6 months, which was very beneficial.
Mm.
And he's only recently gone back to work.
That's
banging.
nice. I wondered.
think,
I always wondered if it'd be nice to not necessarily take it all at once.
1 month on,
yeah.
1 month off.
Not really
What, 2 to
1
3
month.
months,
More
2 to 3
like
months, then have time.
more like work like 3 days a week for
That's
a year.
I don't know exactly how that would. Well, I don't know if I do that.
3 days a week for a year. That's pretty decent, but it has to be a different type of job. I'm pretty sure if it's a very like niche job where let's say you're a technician of some sort, it's very difficult for you to take 2-3 day weeks, right? But like if you're like, say for example,
it depends if it's a day. If your work is a day by day thing or not. If your work's a day by day thing, it's actually pretty easy. But if
what
you
do you mean
have
by day by day?
like you come in, you do this job in this day.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of tasks you have to do
Yeah,
in that day or something.
If I have to finish 4 tasks in a day, whereas if you're like let's say a project manager, you have to deliver that project in a 3-month time frame. And basically you're not going to be able to take off any time in that 3 months, as a example. So, but I believe the job could be a 3-day a week job. It's just I only say that because I feel like it would work better overall. Because if you have a 6 months off, luckily enough for some people, I'll call it 3 months. Let's say I have 3 months off. After 3 months, the kid's 3 months old, still needs the same stuff that it needed.
Yes, it needs the same amount of attention.
Same amount of attention and all of that. And it's just, and then all of a sudden I'm gone for 5 days a week. Like I'm just not there at all.
You need childcare. Like
that's why I feel like 3 days
childcare
would be nice, and then you could like, I don't know, after like a year, then well, it doesn't make sense here because that's past the time period anyway. But if it was after a year, then 3 days a week each would work out somewhat like okay, because you'd be able to separate it. So you've got a kid for 2 days. They have them for 2 days, and then maybe 1 day of childcare.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's fantasy. That is probably not going to be taken up by most people.
Yeah. Well,
you got to remember.
You got to deal with the cards you're dealt, really.
Yeah, and like you got to remember that's the English style, isn't it? Like what you can do in the UK, because childcare is quite expensive there. Because what I'm like for what I'm actually going to do, or what we're planning to do, you know, hopefully, is if, you know, you take your time off, and then like in the first year you can send kids to kindergarten, and it's not like super expensive,
Mm.
so you can still go back to work and work part time.
Yeah,
And
but what age is that?
one,
From one?
Is it one? Sven, can you tell me what is it?
Give at least thought of a female name. Yeah, well, I was going to say while he's
I'm just asking.
getting an
That's
answer.
why. That's
I was gonna say while he's getting an answer, I was going to say for me when we had the business, I took 1 week off, and then went back to work like 5 days a week.
I mean, that was a bad thing about how that business
Was
was
working.
going.
Yeah, but then with Bobette, we obviously then I took the time off that I needed, and then in that time, we then decided it would be time to just sort of end things because of COVID as well.
It's
What were
really
you
hard
ending?
because
Then became a stay-at-home dad.
it's really hard because because childcare is so expensive, and I'm not saying that it should. I'm kind of not like, you hope it shouldn't be, but it depends how the childcare is.
You have to
You
think
know.
it is a job at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
That's
one of
what
those
I'm
things.
saying.
It's
Someone
a
else is
necessity that
working, looking after your kids, and they need to
also
earn
money to probably
pay
look after their
for
kids.
their rent or whatever. So they need their money to live. So,
Yeah.
but that's what's annoying is a lot of the time your
Yeah, but
your
you're paying
wage
extortion.
your wage isn't going to cover their wage without you not really getting any.
The thing is, you say paying extortion, but at the same time, the things that person has to go through, they have to literally as I said, looking after someone else's child with the temper tantrums and the attitude, and as you said, you're going to send the kid from one, so they've then got to deal with that kid's excrement and them being sick and all that sort of stuff. It's a very intensive job. It's like, again, it's like being a carer. It's being a carer.
I think here
And those
though,
jobs aren't paid very well in this country, at least.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't understand how they're not paid that well, and yet you do pay a lot of money to
Because
them.
because it's seen as a job that it's seen as a job that is a skillless job. All right, you might have to get a qualification from college, but it's a very low level qualification.
But so the extortion you're paying is not the carer itself.
Well, as well, actually, to be fair.
I think it's nothing to do with the carer, though. I think it's to do with the massive companies that probably run these things. Because most of the times when it is like, let's say, for example, tater tots or turtle tots, or whatever you call it.
You don't have to go through them though, but also they give you there's benefits and drawbacks in all instances of this, right? So you could literally find one person who's going to look after your kids and pay them, but then you have to pay them an amount of money. Or you can go to these companies where
they might not have the qualification as well.
They might not have the qualification. You've got no peace of mind in the fact that they're not, if anything happens to your kid with this relatively like a single stranger versus a company where there's lots of strangers, and you'd hope that someone has an insurance. Yeah. Lots of strangers who, if they see something dodgy, you'd hope that they call it out and things like that. If you just got random single person coming around your house every day and looking after kids while you go work.
Yeah. A lot of the time as well, in here there's a lot of regulations to do with that. Obviously, childminders have to be qualified and be registered to look after kids. But yeah, it's.
But then there's the things like that, because you have to be qualified. They've got to pay for them courses, things like that. So therefore, they have to charge more. It's just all.
It's also a justification of pay. I'm qualified to do this, so I should be paid the right amount of money.
Yes, it sounds like it's like a can of worms that we just opened. But like,
I mean,
I'm gonna assume over here it must be.
It's not really. It's like put it into context with a job that you would go for. Like, say you've learned to do coding, so you've got that qualification, and then they try and pay you what you're not. What they try and pay you for They're not going to pay you your worth, basically. So you know how much technically you would be worth out of knowing how much other people get paid for that job. But you go there and they try and undercut it, and we're obviously going to turn that job down if they undercut it, regardless of how good that workspace is. You want to be paid the right amount of money for how much that qualification is worth.
I'm just going to say
kind of.
I'm going to say on another kind of note as well. Let's just assuming that they got paid minimum wage, right? You're working, even if you earn double minimum wage on a relatively easy to get job, you have to then pay half your money to them.
Yeah.
So then you're looking at it like, is it worth me earning, I'm just going to say 10,000 a year, because I'm giving the other half to them. Plus, forget about the fact that you pay tax on your total wage. It just ends up kind of not being worth it unless you can get a ridiculously high paid job.
That's why I feel like childcare should not be paid by the government, if you know what I mean.
I mean,
because they are taking your tax money. Do you know what I mean?
But I've always had some socialist views on certain things anyway. So, like I always said, for example, I think insurance for a car should be a government thing.
Other ideologies are available.
I mean, I've always said I think things like insurance for a car should be set by the government, maybe even if they set it for like a certain price for a certain age and it's always the same, or something like that, rather than multi-million-pound profitable insurance companies getting told, oh, government regulation needs to do this, and then they go, oh no, that's going to affect our profit, so they just put your price up. It just doesn't. It never made sense to me why certain things, because for certain people, having a car isn't a luxury. They need it for a job.
Yeah.
When it's a necessity, not a luxury.
They class it as a luxury.
This is so
all
depressing.
The time.
I mean, you can change it. I can change the subject if you like, and try and re-record what we what I was talking about.
Where did we get to on our? Was this from attempt number 1 or attempt number 2?
Attempt number 1. I'm going to go back to with
attempt number 1. Okay.
With my cousin who left. She left us to go on her Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Traveling around
coming
Europe.
of age.
A coming of age journey
through
Europe.
Did she do a hacker adjacent? Did she do a hacker adjacent thing when she left, or is that not allowed in us on the Australasia?
I wouldn't know. It's probably not allowed. But she basically, she left. She went to Paris and France and stuff, and then onwards to Amsterdam, and then she was in Berlin the other day. But I found out today that she's not been enjoying herself. Neither has her friend, because it's not what they thought it was going to be. Sort of holiday they thought it was going to be. They thought a lot of people that were going on that holiday were going to be around the same age, and people that are on that holiday are around 5 to 6 years older than them. So obviously, they haven't got very many people around them that they can relate to, and I think they're both the youngest there.
So the other lot are like, we've seen things.
It's hard. It is potentially hard, but I mean, I went on that trip, and I wasn't the oldest, but I was an older person on the trip I went on.
Yeah, but you have to think of like when we were younger. Remember when we went to the Club 18 to 30s holiday?
Yeah.
And you guys were all 18, and I was 17 with a guardian. That was as I said, it was. We all knew what we were going there to do. We were all going there to get pissed and party, but at the same time, they weren't expecting to go obviously around Europe and go and get drunk and that. I don't know what these other people are doing. They're meant to be going sightseeing, but then you don't know how inclusive they're being with my cousin and her friend, or because they're young.
Are they? Yeah, true. I guess it's
quite hard to relate to somebody who's 5 to 6 years older or younger than you, because it's a generational gap.
Yeah, okay. I say I take it back. I think if you know that you're going partying, different story to if you're
sightseeing
slash
socially being fairly social.
Culture.
Yeah,
I don't know. Think whatever it. If that's like your
experiencing
main
culture and stuff.
experiencing culture as your main aim is not. It's harder to relate to other people with, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if race might play a little bit into it as well, because she's young. She is mixed. She's mixed race with Dutch and Jamaican. And being from Australia, she hasn't experienced a lot of her own culture anyway, because they just don't have any of it.
Yeah.
They don't have any Caribbean culture really in Australia at all. And obviously, moving further into Europe, they can be quite racist to people with darker skin. Especially when a lot of them are seen as migrants or people who are trying to illegally pass through the country just to get to certain places or trying to flee conflict and stuff. So,
thank you, media.
Yeah,
for that.
well, yeah, exactly. But so you don't know what sort of experience she's having with the locals as well. So if she's not being made to feel welcome in any aspect, it's quite a sad thing.
Has she
really.
gone so far again? Sorry, Paris.
She's been to Paris. She's been to
done the World War
Amsterdam,
II.
Amsterdam.
World War II
and
tour.
she went to Germany and like Belgium, Germany. And then I don't know why
I struggle
think
with
she's
Germany.
gonna. Yeah,
From the small experience I've had, I've struggled with Germany.
yeah.
Why?
I think
Germany
she's
was
then
nice for me. Hold on.
It's
moving to Poland.
from my experience, very. How do I put this?
Militant.
They're maybe a little bit. Very.
They're strict, that's for sure.
Strict and efficient. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
And papers, please.
I went via Frankfurt. To be fair, on my way through, for when I was going to Hawaii. On my way through to Hawaii, when I stopped off in Frankfurt, they were nice then. The other times it was just like so incredibly strict and just no smiles or any, like nothing.
Yeah,
it
wasn't very welcoming.
Yeah, not very welcoming.
Didn't feel warm and welcoming as a place.
Isn't Frankfurt's not a tourist city, is it?
I don't know. I didn't get out of the airport.
That's the airport. People
I mean, so to be fair, I haven't been out of the airports in Germany. I've only been in the airports.
So I've been to two places in Germany, right? So I went to Frankfurt because my family were there. Then I've been to Köln. And obviously both of them, I think, are tourist cities. So I've had decent tourist experience there. Yeah. But at the same time, I never said I was from England. I said I live in Scotland. And believe me, that helps.
Well, yeah,
like it legitimately helps.
I think it's just in general, people have their instant sort of judgment when they find out where you're from. So
I mean, I always get searched in airports,
and they can't exactly lie when from where they're from because their accents are so strong. So it's just one of those things. As I said, I think her friend was on the phone to her mum crying because she was having such a bad experience, which is quite sad, really.
Oh God, is it that bad?
That's what I mean. I don't know exactly what's been happening. So
probably getting hit on and stuff, right? Drunk people.
I'm not trying to like play not playing devil's advocate. That's not the right thing. But the other thing is they might be like learning quite a lot about life at the moment.
Well, yeah, that's the thing as well. For being 18-year-old girls and going to Europe, there's probably people thinking on a certain agenda. Travel through Europe.
Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? When people think.
Yeah, exactly. There's people making assumptions, and I've said to my mum, "Why don't they just come back here? There's nothing stopping them coming back."
Have they already booked stuff?
I think
they've
already paid for it, but I don't know how. I don't know if they were to come back early, that would probably cost them more money.
Well.
But if they're having that much of a shit experience that it's gonna be that bad, they might as well just come back, even if it does cost them a little bit. I mean, it shouldn't cost much to book a Ryanair flight.
Yeah, I mean the flight back shouldn't be expensive. It's
other airlines are
it's just losing, because
the loss of what they paid. Yeah. I'd wondered if because some people have the. I don't know. I'd say they have the benefit, but also maybe they just saved a lot of money. some people just save up loads of money and then they go traveling for like 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of that traveling that they do, they don't really plan it.
No.
They literally just take the first flight out there and then they like have a look and okay, I'm going to stay at this hostel for £3 a night.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to stay at. Oh, I feel like moving
Work in
here.
a bar for a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
work in. You need work? I'll work in here if you let me stay for a bit.
Your ex's certain Ghanaian friend was doing that basically.
Oh yeah.
Where she.
Sorry, I realised what you
had
meant.
to have a think back.
Yeah, I was thinking of recent, and I thought, wait, what?
No, not that one. Oh, an old ex-girlfriend.
Mm.
But yeah, she'd do that. So she'd have some sort of problem here in the UK and think, oh, I've got money, so I'm just going to run away from my problems. Fly to South America, you think it was?
South America, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd
stay there for 3 years.
It's funny. I'd like to do it, but when I was out there for like the 2 weeks that I did it, I wondered how I could do if it would have been possible to do it for any longer.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is those staying in hostels and stuff is a bit, I would say, dire probably.
Rago.
It's not that bad. It depends on the hostel. It really depends on the hostel.
Yeah.
And you can always, like, if you ever reach a point you're like, I can't do this anymore, you can usually find, depending where you go, you can usually find a decent,
a better hostel for £6.
Well, no, you can find a decent hotel sometimes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I went Thailand, and you can get the hostels for like £5 a night, maybe less.
Yeah.
And you went, I feel like staying in a nice hotel.
Upgrade.
20 quid.
Yeah, fancy an upgrade.
Yeah, I fancy an upgrade. I want my own room. 20 quid for a night. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, as I've said before, it'd be this works for multiple places, but maybe not so much quite at the moment because everything's got a little bit more expensive. If you can earn like £100 a day from something online on the computer, whatever, you can live in a hotel.
Yeah.
You can find all-inclusive holiday for 2 weeks, 14 days, £1,400.
Yeah,
literally £100 a day. So if you can earn £100 a day through some kind of online internet thing that you can, as long as you can do it anywhere in the world,
yeah, you can.
Then you can live in a hotel, and you don't. It doesn't even need to be £100 a day. You can do it for less.
Yeah,
you can do it for less. It's just
100%. Wasn't it like?
Way.
Was it like some like what was it again? Premier Inn. Obviously, other hotels are available, but like they're like 49 quid.
It's, less than that. I mean, if I go,
less.
No, I'm saying Thailand.
Yeah,
definitely.
if you go to another country, you're saying.
Oh
yeah. I'm saying you need to be able to work around the world. But for instance, Thailand, if you're happy to stay in a hostel, call it £5 a night. Meals, £3 each.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're done for
scenery.
15 quid living.
All you need is a satellite laptop
and that's
some
still
internet.
Yeah, and that's still a fairly luxurious meals.
Yeah. But I haven't been to Thailand. I'd like to go.
It's good. It's a good place to go. I want to go try other places around there as well. Vietnam. My mic's playing up again a little bit.
Vietnam might be a good place to go to. Maybe we can go.
Why do I feel like we're talking about depressive stuff?
We're talking about going on holidays.
Talking about going on holiday.
Yeah,
it just depresses me because I can't go on holiday anytime soon.
Neither could I. I'm just fantasizing about it. That's why I said we can go on a long weekend, maybe.
As soon as I can. I just
Hope Springs in
a bit of money.
Nassus could survive a weekend with the children, or she could give them to my mum for a day or two.
Hope springs eternal is what I was trying to say. Yeah.
But yeah, what about you guys this weekend? Do you have anything up? I know I had a couple of things that were pretty good.
What did I do at the weekend? I don't think I did. No, I didn't do much.
No.
I had the rents over. The in-laws.
The in-laws. Oh.
Yeah.
Cook for them?
It was nice. No, we had this thing called a fika. I don't know if I explained it to you. Like, it's basically what people live and die for here. And it's how you get away with favors and stuff.
Is that what you call the bread?
For God's
I was gonna say it. I was waiting to say it.
I was looking at Manny, and his eyes were slowly preparing to say it.
They brought the bread.
So it's basically cakes and chocolate cakes and
Ground cakes or
Prince cakes and mate, all cakes.
Ground cakes.
Okay.
And coffee and tea, obviously. Like
Oh.
it's basically
Afternoon,
it's nice.
Afternoon tea.
You had an afternoon tea.
No, not an afternoon. Is it an afternoon tea?
had
Because it's most of the time it's.
You had an afternoon tea at a time that wasn't in the afternoon, so it was just normal.
No, it was
tea.
in the afternoon, but
But it was
yeah,
nice.
just
He had
cake
the-
and
he had
stuff.
the
Yeah, it's
in-laws
lovely, yeah.
over. Yeah, it was nice. It's
So it
good.
was afternoon
Yeah.
tea, just not
Yeah.
English style. You
Yeah.
didn't have you didn't have a pyramid
fika.
of cakes on fine china plates.
no, it's on a smorgasbord.
Oh,
It's not on.
we
It's n-
so we had my nephew's birthday on Saturday, just gone, and
yeah.
he turned 5, and we went to soft play in it was like it was one of those things of, big, like, it's obviously big climbing frames, balls and slide. There was a massive slide. It looked so much fun. I wanted to go in there, but obviously I'm too big to go in.
I want to ask you where it is, but I can't really do that. So
Yeah,
I'll
we'll do it after.
remind. I will completely forget by the time this finishes, and then I'll remember next week during this podcast.
I might remember to tell you at the end anyway.
Yeah.
But it was really good actually. The food there was nice. The drinks was good. I had my first like proper boba tea there.
What do you think
Boba.
of boba? Do you like it?
I like it. I do like it. I
Do
think
you have matcha?
no, I had the milk tea with, but I got the wrong pearls. I think I got passion fruit pearls. It was a bit sweet.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
are
I'm
the
not a-
pearls made of again? Is it tapioca? No,
No,
Yeah,
sort
I
of.
think
Yeah.
that's right.
it's actually tapioca.
I
Oh
think
my
it's
god!
tapioca.
What?
I think it is.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
Just to be impartial or to have both sides of the coin. I hate it. It's disgusting. Oh
Well,
my
you
god!
hate
No,
boba.
I've never tried it. So
I find it's depending on how you mix the stuff. It can. I've had one before, but it wasn't quite right. It wasn't a proper one. But this time it was.
I
fairly
like it.
decent.
It has to be cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
It can't be like room temperature or warm.
Yeah, no, it was
Hold
cold.
on.
The last one was sort of like it was like a smoothie that had them in there. It wasn't like a tea.
Oh, I've just been reminded. Sorry.
What?
Goddamn. Fast food. I'm not even going to say their name. They don't deserve
oh
their
my
name.
god! Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
it was
this.
the worst I've ever had. Like, I can't.
Go on,
I can't
preach,
explain.
Rant, God,
Mate.
rant about it.
Cold-
Let me explain. No, you
cold
simmer down.
chips.
You simmer down, bro. Let me
No,
tell
no,
you.
no. I'm
how
gonna. So I order my food,
Oh.
and it comes somewhat quickly. Not even that quick. So all right, yeah. Bring the bag in, open it up, take the stuff out on the table. First things first. My cheap chicken burger. My cheap chicken burger is missing. So I go to the ordering app. I'm not giving them any advertising either. Go to my ordering app and say, "Oh, this item is missing. Send it off. Sorry to hear, we'll refund you £1.30." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Grab my milkshake, go to take a sip, and it's literally just milk.
But it
It's
was
supposed
shaken.
to be.
But it was shaken.
It wasn't
It's still a
shaken.
milkshake.
It definitely wasn't shaken. There were no bubbles in it. It was flat.
Oh god.
It was. I don't know what happened.
They had a
Whoever organized that meal together grabbed the worst of every possible thing that was left, and it wasn't even late. I ordered it at. It must have been like delivered at like 8 o'clock, and it closes at 11. They still had 3 hours left, and they gave me the worst stuff in
worst
there.
food.
It's
Oh,
gutting.
I would have.
That's the.
I
That's
was
the
I was
thing,
tempted
right.
to put my ice cream pot
Yeah,
into the milkshake to hope that it would make it better, but I felt like it was just going to make both worse,
worse.
so I just decided not to do that.
What we've been finding as well. We've had trouble recently as well, where they sent the wrong thing. Like, you
Can I
ask
just
for
say one
something,
thing?
or they always forget something.
Can I be political here? Hold
Go
on.
on.
Just it's because Brexit. There's no
That doesn't
European
No,
workers.
that doesn't affect people's brains.
I think
Brexit does not affect
honestly,
people's
honestly, I
brains
think
and the
it-
ability to
I mean,
remember stuff.
we're getting there is going to be a political slide here. I think it might have.
Probably.
What's that?
People can't be bothered
The brain of
to
the
work
Eastern
properly.
European is
Loads
more
of people can't
advanced.
be bothered to work properly.
Well, it's an employee market at the moment, isn't it? At the moment, people want, everyone's looking for staff.
Yeah. So they do hire. So, and the thing is as well that there's no on the. I half understand the reasoning is that no one's getting compensated for doing. You don't get compensated for doing a better job. You just do the bare minimum that you need to do to get paid the amount you get paid.
What was the thing as well? There's a term for that called quietly quitting, where you don't.
It's a new Instagram fad, isn't it?
It's called quietly quitting, where you literally do what your job is, and that's it. And if your boss or manager tries to ask you to do anything else, you go, "Well, I'm doing my job."
Yeah, it's
and
like
they can't complain at you for doing anything else, for not doing
it's in your job
overtime,
description.
extra.
Yeah,
I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job description.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's not in my job description. Yeah.
Exactly.
See,
or like even the starting and leaving on the dot as well, like starting at 9, finishing at 5, and literally not even waiting to do anything, no socializing, just literally in and out.
My 2 cents on that.
I don't think they even did the minimum for this order. So
see, yeah, that's what I mean. So my 2 cents on that is I am one of those people that are, I guess, quietly quitting, but I do come on time. I leave on time. I socialize and do my job and whatever. I do a decent job and then I go. I thought everyone does that at a job, but I found out recently. No, but hear this now. I found out recently the reason why my people and my culture, they're so angry all the time is because they're not like that. They will stay over. They will do extra. They will try as hard as they can and stay over. But then they will complain about things. And it's like, you're only complaining about these things because you've been working extra, not doing the bare minimum,
and expecting
expecting so much
when they're not really getting that.
Yeah, because you're already doing everything.
But it's not that. I find as well, it's the expecting more,
opposite.
which I get. But when you're not contracted to get any more,
they're
not going to give it to you. But I've always found as well with people from your culture is they expect more, and when they do, like especially when it comes to buying things, they want more.
They haggle.
They can understand the haggling. That's fine, but they want more. And they want to pay less for it. And then when they do pay you, they act like they're doing you a favor by giving you what the item is worth. It's just like, that's how much it costs. It's like, you're not doing me anything. I could always sell it to somebody else.
Yeah, but, and that's why I don't get along with my culture. But obviously, other cultures are available, and I'm clearly doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna beat on your culture. They're nice people. They are lovely.
They're hard workers, bro. Never ever. But it's insane that, like, with your restaurant, with your order, the fact that people are really not doing their jobs.
With the refund thing as well, it's good that they refunded you, because I've had quite a few.
No, but I made a mistake by refunding that.
You didn't get to refund the rest.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that you should have waited until you saw the rest of the meal.
I've learned that now,
because it's happened to us before, where I think we did the same thing, where we complained about one burger, then realized that the rest of the whole meal was messed up, and it was like not a £50, it was probably about £30.
Still, you got back £1.30 out of like £30 from a meal you could barely eat.
Exactly.
I literally ate half of it. I was like, screw this. So. Yeah. What can I do?
I think we did get to do like a re-ticket and speak to somebody and be like, look, we've done this too early.
I was trying, and I got too annoyed, and I just said, screw it, I'm going to order from there again. I'm just going to say it didn't arrive.
I think they gave us the refund, and then they gave us the refund for the one item that was small, but then they ended up, when we spoke to them, they gave us money off our next order from somewhere else.
Yeah. That's what.
But
was that a independent restaurant that you ordered from that was rubbish, or
was it was a chain? It was a very big chain.
Was it the same chain?
Golden Arches?
Yeah.
Bastards. They always fuck up the order. I don't get it. They forget our drinks. That's the thing that annoys me.
Yeah.
They do everything and they
forget
forget
how much
drinks.
That hurts until the thing is, everyone's like, "Oh, the drink's not even an important thing for
But
me."
don't they
But
have
the second
quality
you miss
control
it-
in these things, man?
They just make
I've
food,
worked in
but
restaurants.
They
or
just,
in a
they
restaurant.
just. You've worked in a restaurant that literally deals with
Does their job.
There's only one
That
person
actually does
doing
their
that
job.
job.
Yeah,
There's only one person who's cutting the meat, dude.
No,
In-
it was
yeah, but
seven
it's
people.
not a franchise.
7 people
It's
still
not a
can't.
franchise where people can hide.
Yeah,
People can hide in.
Yeah, but
bigger
there's
companies.
quality checks. Like if I was your manager and you're sending drinks wrong, every other day, is it like, oh,
But
we're
no, if the
sending
manager
1,000
also
orders,
doesn't
only
care.
2 of them's wrong?
but
Not a
but
problem.
even when it comes to complaints, you can send a complaint. It doesn't go to that person. It doesn't go to that business.
True,
It just
yeah.
goes to the people at said company,
Human-
and then they
not
just
human resources.
they
Complaints.
might send stuff to
No, it goes to the
shop,
delivery
but-
company, the app delivery company.
Yeah, and that's it.
And I think the app, to be honest, I think the app delivery company probably take the hit.
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't surprise me
Because they're getting money for free, basically, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
essentially.
providing a little bit of software, and then, oh, bro, again, look, we're just depressing stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I wanted to bring up about the birthday thing was Bob. He has this thing where we go to some place that's a party or like some sort of celebration or like thing where you can go and play and have lots of fun, and he will fixate on something else and get upset. And I was sitting like, so I don't know if it's just him or like other kids.
Is Bob just a reincarnation of me? at my
Probably.
worst?
Probably, to be honest, because as I said, we went to this massive soft play. Everyone was having fun, going around. He went in and ran around. Then he came out once to come and see where we were because we moved where we were sitting, and he saw the till where all the food and stuff was kept, and they have all these sweets. Like they've honestly they packed it like they stocked their shelves up really cleverly. So the front that faces the soft play area just is all sweets, chocolates. It's a kid's glory basically. Any kid would dream to go up there and just have like one of everything.
Was it just Bob?
He's going to
with
complain
you,
about
or was,
one thing.
Bobbett there as well?
Bobbett was there as well.
Okay.
Bobbett was there as well.
He didn't see something he liked.
He did.
there.
He saw.
Oh.
I can tell you exactly what he saw. He saw a lollipop which had a shark head on it with a button that when you press it, it extends out and then bites and comes back. And he wanted one of those. And we told him no, because obviously
That's it.
he's at a birthday party, and he's going to get something later. We didn't know if they had, because we knew they were going to get party bags, and we didn't know if they were going to get sweets in the party bag. They could have got one of those in the bag. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because it was all provided by this company that done it all.
Oh, okay.
Which was quite cool. It was
That's
expensive.
nice.
Apparently
That's
it was
really
really
nice.
expensive.
Of course.
NASA's had a look at the prices per head, and I think it was £27 a kid to have them there for 2 hours to provide food, which is good. They had chicken. They had chicken nuggets and chips. A drink.
Okay,
which
maybe
is
not
just
a great
squash.
food.
It's not. It's not going to be gourmet, is it? They got
Well,
to
not
pick.
gourmet,
Chicken,
but like at least
pick.
some
They got to
veg.
pick. They got to pick. I think they could have had a burger. They could have had pizza, or chicken nuggets.
Yeah, but
and obviously my
veg.
kids had chicken nuggets. There was no veg involved. There's
I
no
would
veg involved.
say
For all that money, no veg.
20. It's
They
it
then
is a
many
little
kids
bit.
they then also provided.
extortionate in
They
that-
also then provided party bags.
and pipe.
They gave them party bags,
Yeah.
and they helped with cutting up the cake and then boxing it up and stuff like that.
Was
So
the cake from outside or
the cake was from outside.
Okay.
I think it's
I can see
decent,
how
man.
they made a decent-ish amount of money off
Yeah.
that, but at the same time, I don't think it's.
It was
I
slightly.
don't think it's too.
It's slightly
expensive.
extortionate.
A
I
hand
think
over fist,
possibly
is it?
£20 a head would have been maybe a fairer
I
price.
don't know, I was
but
just
still a bit
thinking.
too
I don't
much.
know what the area's like. So I was just thinking, probably, realistically, I was saying £6 an hour
Okay.
for play.
I can tell you.
area
I can
time.
tell you where it is in a more cryptic way. Where Ethan's sister used to go for stage shows.
Do you know what's funny? I don't actually know where that
Oh.
is. I know what it's called. I never knew
Didn't know where it
is.
was. Okay.
I've never knew. I've never
Alright.
known where it
It's
is.
literally right next door to it.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you where the area later. But it's not a
me-
bad. It's not a bad area. It's quite a fairly well off area. So people who live in that area would be able to pay that fairly easily, I think.
Yeah. So I was thinking, just going quick math in my head. £6 ish an
2
hour.
plus 2 equals 4.
That's
quick
20.
maths.
That's £12.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, then again, to be fair, I don't know how much a chicken nugget meal is for kids. It's probably like £4.
Well, if you was to equate it to
Golden Arches, but they do it ridiculously cheap somehow.
Yeah.
I laugh at how everything just ends up being calculations of food. You're hungry again. God damn it.
I actually didn't get to see their party bags. They had
they
had a colouring
12
book
plus. Just call it 4, even though that's thing. And I was actually thinking like 7 is probably what they'd actually charge to make money on it. That takes it to like £20 with if I do that. And party bag,
probably £2-3.
£2-3, so 23, and they charge 27.
Yeah.
Realistically, they probably made like a tenner a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously they made money on the time, like the time and area or whatever. But you never. That's a really hard thing to actually calculate how much they need to make per hour.
Well, the thing is, they did supposedly hire it, but they still let people from the public in. So even though you're there for a birthday party, there's still other kids from outside that can still just come in and play anyway. So they're going to be having those people coming in and paying too. So it's not just like an area party.
There was a play where
there was, and they had 2 parties on that day, and there was an area upstairs where once they had played for I think it was maybe an hour and a half, they called them upstairs to one area so they can have their food, have their drink, cut the cake. I think they had ice cream as well. And then once they had all that, they then came back down for another half an hour or so to run around. But yeah, it was fairly expensive per child. But again, when you do think about what they had, it is probably worth it.
I think I can see where they made a bit of money. I don't think it wasn't like £50 a person.
No.
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
27 is probably on the high end. You'd hope maybe like 20.
That's what I was saying. That's £20 would have been probably reasonable, more reasonable. But
I just don't know how things. I also don't know how things translate these days for them.
I don't know how many kids.
I don't think I ever really knew how much things cost when I was a kid and went to soft play.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many kids were there, but I know that with my kids and niece and nephew, that's over £100 over. And I think
£100.
How much? If you got four kids at £27 each.
Jeez.
Yeah, and there was a lot of kids there. There was maybe probably 10 kids.
For fifth birthday?
Fifth birthday, yeah.
So 27. So what's that? 27 quid per head times 10. So 270 quid for 2 hours.
Yeah.
What?
It's all right.
I forgot what I was going to say. I've lost it.
Okay. Well, but then we had the fun thing of after we got the kids to eat all the rubbish food and have all the sugar, we sent them to Nanny's house to stay the night.
Oh,
because
what are they like with Sugar Crash? Then are they bad?
They're not bad.
Or did they just fall asleep?
No, they get tired. They do get tired and they fall asleep. But Bob can be pretty bad with sugar. He can be sick if he has too much.
Oh, okay.
So he can wake up in the middle of the night and throw up everything he's eaten during the day, which he's done multiple times. About 3 or 4 times he's done it. So we were hoping that he wouldn't do that with my mum. But mind you, it wasn't late that we gave him to her. So, because we were there from, I think we got about 2. We ended about 2 o'clock.
I can't, in my head, can't comprehend the timings that happen for kids.
Yeah.
Where realistically, some of these things are kind of so short.
Oh yeah, we were only there for 2.5 hours. What, 2 hours? 2.5 hours. We were at this place. And you have to remember with kids as well, your day starts like super early because they get up at the crack of dawn. So that's the thing. Daylight savings fucked us. Daylight savings absolutely fucked us.
I think they should get rid of it. I don't think we have any need for it anymore.
Yeah, the kids just started getting up at like 6 in the morning because of daylight savings. Because obviously they're so used to getting up at 7 at clocks change.
I don't think we need it anymore. I think we should get rid of it.
Of course.
But
yeah, so then once we dropped the kids off at Nanny's house, Nassus and I managed to go shopping, and we managed to sort out a lot of our Christmas presents.
Oh,
So I don't know if you've managed to start buying anything for Christmas for your family or anything.
No, I got the some.
What is this Christmas?
That's
My
Lloyd.
mum set up the secret
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa, so I got my name, and then it says blah 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 budget. Enter in here, you'll see who you got, and then afterwards you can put what stuff on your wish list.
Yeah.
So I've whacked a few little things on my wish list. I need to have a look again. I
Yeah,
figure out
yeah.
how to log back in to check if the person I got has put anything on their wish list and see if I can get it.
What about you, Ethan? Are you celebrating this year?
Bruh, we're gonna have a nice quiet one. My little boy's already got his little onesie that says he's our gift, sent from Charizard. And
A gift from Charizard.
yeah.
That's
And
nice.
like we had some bad news with my partner's family. There's a few like health things, because obviously, if you guys remember, no one else remember. Like, I'll explain it here. Their family's aging, right? So
Yeah, people are old.
illnesses are popping up. Yeah, people are.
Bro, I
popping
know
up with
people are
illnesses.
old. People are dropping like flies in my family at the moment.
Oof,
But yeah, go
don't
on.
say that.
Go
But
on.
yeah, they we're thinking of doing a little quiet thing ourselves, and having a Christmas ham, maybe doing some new traditions for ourselves, and
Yeah, why not?
just starting something. Yeah, just
Trying to
starting
start
something that
something
we've
and doing
always
traditions.
dreamed
Yeah,
of doing. Yeah, like making our own traditions. And
I
like
mean,
one thing, I know it's not Christmas related, but one thing we're thinking of trying to do is like every month have like a one day where we cook something from a country that we've never, or a culture that we've never really done or seen, and
yeah,
learn about it together, and just enrich our lives a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
don't know how it's going to play out.
That's
But
going to be expensive with how much ingredients and things cost.
yeah, mate, I've been looking at those really weird sites.
How much
What
is
was it
jerk
again?
seasoning?
You've been on
Jerk, mate, I make my own jerk, bro. Don't get twisted.
say Ethan's been on the dark web looking
That will happen with your crypto.
looking for turnips.
You're gonna use that. You're gonna use that Ethereum.
Okay. Yeah. No, like, looking for people's pets that are passed, like, oh, we're doing some Peruvian cuisine. So,
Oh,
anyone's
Peruvian-
guinea pig
looking for, I was
passed?
gonna say, yeah, good looking for guinea pigs. You shouldn't need to go far for guinea pigs. You just go to the pet shop.
Oh, imagine like
Oh
lurking
my
through the
God.
pet shop, like,
Say
this one looks juicy.
Sitting there with calipers measuring.
I was gonna say Nessus is gonna love that. She loves guinea pigs. We watched a
mate.
show about a guy who goes around finding species of animals that are meant to be extinct, but they've been claimed to be extinct, but there's still small pockets of them around. And he's like investigating, and one of the places was in Peru, and they were eating guinea pigs in it. And she was so sad.
Oh.
It's just like,
Don't let her.
I don't know if there's eating involved, but there's a show on Netflix. I think it is called. I'm gonna something like Octopus Daddy or something along those
right.
lines. It's
Oh,
so
dear.
no, it's a guy. It's not bad in the way that I think you're thinking.
No,
But-
isn't it that there's like a game where it's Octodad?
No,
there
no,
is
no,
a
no.
There is a game called
No,
Doctor
alright, there is a game called Doctor Dad, but yeah, this is nothing like that. It's a guy who has or traps an octopus in the sea, and the way that he talks about this octopus is like he's in love with it. It's so weird.
Oh, so what you're saying? It's more like The Boys, kind of.
Yeah. Let's call it that way.
Is that how he
The
talks?
deep-
If anyone hasn't,
No,
Yeah.
if the deep was
Didn't have any powers.
no,
Wait,
I'll say if
quick
the deep
interest,
was
quick-
more romantic.
Oh,
That's how
Yeah.
it sounds like he's talking
So-
to this octopus.
So if anyone doesn't know, it's a show called The Boys. They're superpowers, and there's a guy called the Deep who can speak to sea creatures. He's basically R-rated Aquaman. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa. I don't think I didn't actually watch it. I can't even remember why it was on.
You must have seen a clip or something.
No, it was on the TV like properly, but I wasn't watching.
Was your brother and thingy watching it?
I might have put it on actually.
Oh
It
my
may
gosh.
have.
So he was looking for the thing that. Yeah.
Did you put it on thinking it was something else?
All right. I'm going to be honest.
Give
It
you the
might have been a
benefit of the
Netflix and chill. I didn't watch it show.
Oh, okay. Just something in the background
Yeah.
Oh,
to get you in the mood.
Lloyd.
But the way I don't know, it was off-putting sometimes.
Oh.
I thought it was just going to be a regular nature show, you know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
God.
And here the majestic octopus is
I thought David
around.
Attenborough would, set the mood.
Jump in.
Like a cameo.
Tag team.
More like it's like, oh, look at his tentacles, the way they're moving in and out of the bottle as he tries to squeeze in.
It was like, I can't remember exactly, but it's like, isn't she beautiful? She looks at me in a way that no other octopus does.
And it cuts to an octopus with like fucked up eyes.
Just like eyes going, blinking at different times.
Doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Just some geezer romanticizing it.
It was,
Like,
it
bro,
was
I just want to have some
so
crab. Do you know what I mean?
If you like weird things and being entertained by them, then I'd check it out. But
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Netflix.
oh no,
Other streaming services are available.
Sponsorship opportunities are available.
Yeah, I was gonna say as well.
Imagine.
I was gonna say something. It's about our because we had really our Saturday was really busy. Getting up early, sorting the kids out, going to that party, then dropping them off at my mum's, then shopping for Christmas. Then once we finished shopping for Christmas, then we had to get ready to go to an engagement party for our friend who is a male goat and his partner.
Oh yeah.
She goes to Wonderland.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit
Sad.
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't get no invite.
Oh, didn't you? To be honest, they had it was a very small.
You don't have
hall.
to try and make me feel good now.
No. It was
it's too late.
It was a small hall and it was done fairly short notice. They only recently got engaged, and to have actually organised an engagement party before Christmas was quite a surprise. Because we didn't think any other
someone else is organising something else that's a bit bigger before Christmas, aren't
exactly,
they? So
that's what we thought. And we thought, oh, maybe ours was going to be the last thing, but apparently they snuck it in before.
Who is this person? Can you text
them
or something?
Do you not text him? Because obviously we know who we're talking about, but he doesn't.
Let me find you.
But
Billy Goat, what the fuck? Oh,
you get it now.
Jesus Christ.
But I tell you something. I had his mum's dolma, yeah, and it took me back to I've never had a meal apart in the space of a week. I've had 2 meals that have taken me back to my childhood and made me wish I was a kid again. I've never had that before. You know when you always see these things where it reminds me of my childhood. Oh, reminds me of being a kid. I've never had that experience. I've never had that experience until Saturday, and it was twice in the same day.
It's funny to me, right? Because I don't know what it is, but you always seem to lean more towards
food.
No. The side that you lean to of your heritage is not the side I always expect.
All right.
It's always food, isn't it? It's always tidbits and food.
They're Turkish. Their food is Turkish. But
yeah, I know. But what you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but then
Mediterranean.
But then the same. I said it happened to me twice that same day because the first meal that I had for our evening, for our dinner basically, and then we had piggy food later on. But we had a shepherd's pie that was made by my nana, right? I didn't realize I hadn't eaten my nana's cooking for a good couple of years, at least I want to say. Good couple, like a proper meal.
Yeah.
and she had made the shepherd's pie, and it reminded me of being a kid, where she'd made me my dinner coming home from school, and I'd gone to her house, and yeah, she made me my dinner, and it just reminded me of being like 8 years old. It was weird. I'd never had a food like it's like that scene from Ratatouille when he has the food and it takes him back to a kid, and it was mad. I'd never felt like that before. And then it happened again, and it happened again later on that evening when I was like, oh, it just reminds me of being at his house, like at his name, being at their house, eating the food, like obviously after being there for the day, like messing about in the garden, picking apples and shit, and like his mum had been cooking all day, and you go and have
did you go to his? Food. Where was it? At his. Where was the?
They hired a hall.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't at their house, so they'd hired a hall. They'd taken food, and the mum had made.
Okay. Then, yeah.
The mum had made food and taken it there. So, and as I said, as soon as I had the first piece, I was asking like, who made this? Like, cause it's one of those things of I remember the flavor, but it's one of those things of remembering the taste of something, and it tasting exactly how it used to taste. Not, it's like you'd never changed the recipe, always had it the same. It's just so weird.
Do you know what? As I'm getting older cooking, I'm slowly becoming like that, like making stuff taste like a certain way.
Yeah.
Knowing how to do it.
It must be perfection. You're perfecting your recipe, you know, in a sense, but also it's just sort of and knowing how to make it, and it'll be that thing one day when obviously when you have your child, and when they get older, and they're going to have that one day probably when they have food at your house they haven't eaten for a couple of months or so. Hopefully they had, but maybe that one dish that you haven't cooked for a long time.
Yeah, well, remember I'm dealing with like 3 cultures or 2 cultures.
I think the first experience of that normally would happen on, if there is like a school trip where you go away for a couple of days, there's potentially then.
Yeah.
But the first major one is, I think, is usually when you go to uni.
Yeah.
When you go to uni and you start living off of plain pasta, and then you come back and your mum cooks you that meal, and you're like, oh god.
This?
Well, it's
what
like
is this
I was
flavor?
so spoiled.
Well,
for
it's
the
like
past
your nan.
18 years.
It's like your nan with her crumble.
Yeah, I was actually. So I was gonna say the entire time. I was gonna say I don't think I've got that with my nan at all.
Yeah, you have.
There's 2. I guess there's 2. So it's Christmas. The thing is, Christmas. So there's Christmas meal would bring back nostalgia. However, don't listen to this. I don't think a Christmas meal is that good.
Oh,
my mum's is amazing.
Yeah.
My nan likes very plain stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't actually even eat the apple crumble that she makes.
Because it's too juicy.
Because it's probably too like I don't know what's the word.
Too much cinnamon in it and stuff like that.
No, it's not. She don't really put cinnamon in it.
Too much umami.
What is it when apple tart? Something like that.
Tart, yeah, tart, yeah. Where it's too like sour type thing.
Yeah, she finds
the apples.
She finds it too sour.
Yeah.
So she don't eat it, but she makes it. That's really good.
That's that old person bland palate.
Like,
lost all their taste buds a millennia ago.
It's like I managed to make a dish that was my yaya had told me, my grandma, my dad's mum. She turned around and said that I could make them from now on. It was again, it's like the Greek style kofte. She turned around and said to me, "I don't need to make them anymore. You can make them from now on."
Make them now.
Yeah, because I make them better than she makes them.
Do you make them better, or she just got lazy?
No, she actually said I make them better than her.
That's a joke.
Obviously. But yeah, everyone says that I make them so good now. So that's sort of like the thing I'll probably be bringing to parties and things.
If I'm gonna cut it off a little bit now because we're actually already an hour, even though this is attempt number 3. So somehow we've made this one of the longest episodes, even though we recorded 2 attempts prior to the start of this. So I'm gonna cut it off there. Thanks for listening.
We'll
tune in again, hopefully next week if I'm gonna be on time with editing. I might not be. We'll see.
Man, I might not because
If you're,
it's getting to that point where my kids come in.
Oh, you're gonna record on the night before in the
Yeah.
hospital, on the phone, on your Discord on your phone.
Oh,
You got headphones.
Oh,
Anyway.
shit, I need to pack some stuff for that. I should really
you
like
should
next
already
week.
have a bag. Do you not have a bag?
No, we do. It's just I haven't packed.
You need to have just
a
pack a
set
bag.
like
Just do it now. Pack a bag now.
no, I have the bag. I've got all the essential
haven't stopped
stuff.
recording
Bar
you need-
bar the.
But you need a bag. You need to
Yeah, the
pack a
bag's
bag.
done.
Yeah,
we
but
have both.
yeah, but have you got a
bags.
bag for
Emergency
yourself
birth
as
bag.
well as her, depending on how long you're staying?
That's what I mean. I haven't done a bag for my
No,
personal
exactly.
effects.
So do a bag of your personal effects.
Yeah,
you
but
need
it's
to
just
have it.
headphones.
It's
Just grab some headphones.
Grab some headphones. Make sure you
Grab
grab
some
some on your
charger.
mad dash out.
I got all that's what I mean. All the chargers and stuff already. It's just entertainment for myself is what I need to bring, and I can't bring
You
myself
don't need.
to bring
What do you mean entertainment? You're going to be there. She's going to be screaming at you. You think you're going to be sitting on your phone?
Yeah, that's the plan. No, of course not. But
Well,
that's why there's no headphones in there.
I'm gonna
So I
say
mean, I
good-
have to bring.
Good luck to you. See if you're still alive after.
For content wise,
Well, I'm
it'd be
messing.
quite funny for him to have to leave halfway through next episode. But
That would be.
that'd be good content,
Yeah.
but it'd be stressful for
That
you.
would be.
So
I'll
I
see you
don't
later
wish
for
that on
2
you
years.
properly.
I
All
don't-
right, let's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop this recording.
Yeah.
Follow us on all of the places. PG Parental Guidance is where you can search on Spotify, and hopefully it's up on the others by the time I do this. Bye.
Yeah.
Boy.